Hello and welcome to Badminton World. This new episode coming to you from the Chinese commercial hub of Changzhou. Situated on the affluent delta region of the mighty Yangtze River, Changzhou has housed a number of large cotton mills since the early 20th century. The city continued to prosper through the social upheavals of China's Cultural Revolution in the 60s and 70s. Modern-day Changzhou serving 21st century China as an important industrial centre, with its 4.5 million people enjoying all the fruits of an urban lifestyle. It's no secret that the Chinese love their badminton. The country known for producing some of the world's finest players in recent times. With its impressive Olympic Sports Centre, SHIXIAN Gymnasium, Changzhou has been home to the last 3 editions of the BWF China Master Super Series. And the superb infrastructure, top-notch competition and die-hard fan following all combine to make the BWF China Masters a not-to-be-missed affair for players from all around the world.
I think China, obviously, they're the strongest nation in badminton, clearly. They won all the gold medals at the World Championships again in London this year, so it's always a very difficult place to be successful. And like I say, I think the Chinese crowd are always very, loud and happy to watch a lot of badminton, so it's a great place if you can be successful.
And even as the rest of the world racks its brains on how to defeat the Chinese players, their dominance of this sport reached new heights at the 2011 BWF World Championships, where China completed a clean sweep of gold medals for the 2nd consecutive year. And while the country boasts of a string of brilliant players, one man is being hailed as the greatest by a jury of his peers.
If you look at the squad they have, the Chinese squad, they have done many right things in the last 5-6 years. But the main difference is one player, and that's Li-Ning. If you look at all the other players, I have beaten all the other players. Cheng Wei beats all the other players every time. So the main difference is Li-Ning. He is, in my opinion, the best player that have ever played in the game. And it's tough to compete against him, but I'm still proud that I can take up the fight. And as long as I feel that on a good day I may have a chance, I'm going to go for that.
In a men's singles lineup that was missing world number 1 Li Chongwei, the Chinese superstar breezed into the quarterfinal stage. Li-Ning playing out this match point after a 37-minute battle against Japan's Sho Sasaki. Here are some of the other quarterfinal results in the men's singles draw. Chen Long and Chen Jin booking their place in the semis. Peter Gade, the only non-Chinese player in the last 4. Elsewhere, waiting for his mixed doubles quarterfinal to start, is a man who's being groomed as the Gen Next of England's badminton players. There's a reason why Chris Adcock has an air of confidence about him. The young man has partnered Imogen BANKIER to a silver medal triumph at the BWF World Championships. The sweet taste of success doing wonders to Adcock's self-belief.
I think so. I think I've had a little bit more media interest from the public, which is really good for the sport as well as me. But yeah, I thought it would change my mindset. However, I think because there's still one more I need to get. I didn't win it, and it's a silver, so still got really good aims and objectives. And with the Olympics coming up, but no, it's been a really enjoyable time. I've had a great time with my friends and my family. But straight back the next day, back to training hard. So it kind of knocks you back again. But no, it's really enjoyable. It's obviously a great thing to have achieved. And I'm really happy with it.
The 22-year-old left-hander is quickly building a reputation as a skilled doubles player. His men's doubles partnership with compatriot Andrew Ellis shaping up nicely to add to his mixed doubles successes with BANKIER. And the rigours of the badminton tour aren't likely to get to Adcock anytime soon, with his girlfriend and England doubles player Gabby White also competing in most tournaments.
Yeah, it's actually really nice. Obviously me and Gabby have been together for quite a while now, but it means we travel together, we can stay together, we can see the world together. So I think a lot of people miss their partners when they travel away for 3 weeks. A lot of people say, oh, you were together all the time, but it's really nice to be able to share it with somebody. Even when we're playing together, people say it must be hard, but no, it's actually really nice. I think it gives us an advantage that we know each other so well. But travelling with your partner is a really nice thing to do, and hopefully it can stay that way.
Playing Korea's Yoo Yeon-seong and Jang Ye-na in the mixed doubles quarters, Adcock and BANKIER will have to draw on every ounce of talent to try and get to the semis. More matches on the big stage will only bolster their ability to deal with pressure, especially for Adcock, who's always looking to learn from the best in the business.
Yeah, men's doubles. I think the Chinese pair, both Kai and Fu, when they're playing the best, I think they're the best pair in the world, and I think they're amazing to watch. They're great for the sport, and yeah, it's good for a pair to be so like electrifying when they're on their form. And mixed, I think you can't look any further than like Lee and Day at the Olympics. I found that was very, very impressive, very young to win the Olympic gold. It's good. It's nice to be competing against him. Played him, I think, once this year and managed to beat him, so that felt really good. But it's nice to be able to compete with these players and to look at people who I once looked up at now. I think I can beat them. So yeah, it's really good.
And the Leicester-born Englishman certainly doesn't suffer from lack of ambition. Adcock and BANKIER doing very well to win the first game in their quarter-final against the Koreans.
There's one goal that I want to get, and obviously that's an Olympic gold. I think there's plenty of different goals that I can get, like World Championships as well. But I think in Britain we've had Olympic bronze medalists, we've had Olympic silver medalists, and hopefully my aim will be to be the person who gets the gold. I think badminton is getting harder every year. There's so many good players and so many good teams out there now. But as I said, it's just focusing on yourself, trying to improve all the time, looking at if you do lose, why you lose, and just making sure you always improving, because the whole world is improving with you.
On the court, Adcock and BANKIER gave it away in game number 2. Korea's Yoo and Jang drawing level to set up a decider. And game number 3 also didn't go as the British pair had planned. Their opponents storming through to the semis.
21-16 in the deciding game.
Coming up on Badminton World, the competition heats up with the women's top seeds facing off in the quarterfinals. That up next. In the men's singles Super Series rankings, Lee Chong-wei and Lin Dan are right up there, followed by Peter Gade and Taufik Hidayat. Chinese youngsters Chen Long and Chen Jin are in the top 6. Simon Santoso 7th, followed by Japan's Kenichi Tago and China's Du Pengyu, with Park Sung-hwan rounding out the men's top 10. In the women's singles Super Series rankings, Wang Xishan's on top, followed by Wang YIHAN and Wang Jin. Germany's Julian Schenk comes in at 4th, Jiang Yanjiao 5th, ahead of India's SAINA NEHWAL. Japan's Sayaka Sato's in 7th, Korea's Bae-Yun Ju 8th, Xiao Che Cheng and Pontip Burana Prasatuk also propping up the women's top 10. Welcome back to Badminton World. The city of Changzhou bringing you the 2011 BWF China Master Super Series. The women's singles competition here is expected to be a tug of war between 3 of the world's best players. Wang YIHAN coming off her recent triumph at the World Championships. Wang Xishan boasting of the All England Open victory earlier in the season. And Wang Jin just getting warmed up with a win at the Singapore Super Series. And while the Chinese trio has shared all but one of this year's Super Series titles among them, world number 4 SAINA NEHWAL hopes to have a better say on how things turn out at Changzhou. One of the most popular players on tour, NEHWAL has acquired the status of a sports celebrity in her home country of India. So much so that a team of filmmakers from Mumbai has decided to chronicle her life on tour as part of a television series leading up to the 2012 Olympics.
It started with tennis because I've been a tennis player and I have a close friend of mine, Mathias Boe Welcome. So I discussed the idea to him and he liked it also, and others, my wife liked it also, and that's how that led to another thing. And I said, why don't I make a whole series wherein I follow India's top athletes, and right now at this stage at this period in time, there are a lot of good athletes in India. I mean, the people who have won world championships, people who have won Olympic medals, golfer who's won Masters tournament, who's won major tournaments on various circuits. So that's how the concept that why don't I do something wherein I look at life of these Indian athletes on tour, which nobody's done before.
As a former tennis player on the juniors circuit, Vikram Saluja is intimately aware of what goes into the making of a pro athlete. And the former Indian model is impressed by what he's seen here.
SAINA is very simple, hardworking, very focused into her job, and she's accomplished a lot in this young age, and in spite of that fact, she's still grounded, still has the same focus, and it's been a wonderful experience. I mean, it's been fascinating to see her train and to have gotten the opportunity to actually document her life on the circuit, which will remain forever.
NEHWAL would have her hands full in her quarterfinal at the China Super Series. The local crowd rooting for top seed YIHAN, who responded by taking the first game 21-8. Tall Chinese looked good to wrap up the match in Game 2. YIHAN powering away past NEHWAL to book a place in the semis.
Super disguise on the cross-court slice from YIHAN. And the victory is hers. She's through to the semi-final.
Former world number 1 Wang Xin was in it against Denmark's Tine Baum. The Chinese player thoroughly outplaying her opponent to win in straight games. That completed the women's singles lineup in the semis. Quarterfinal victories by JANG YANJIAO and Wang XIXIAN, making for an all-Chinese last four. The mixed doubles semis had the surprise inclusion of India's Jwala Gutta and Diju. The relatively unheralded pair rising through the draw after beating second seeds Tao Jiaoming and Qian Qing in the first round.
It's huge for us, you know. Everybody knows that Chinese players, are top in the world, and to beat them in their home ground is always very tough. And to have, for us to have beaten them in the first round itself was a great achievement, and we're maintaining the same spirit, and we're winning the quarterfinals. I think it's a huge achievement for us.
A player of mixed Indian and Chinese ancestry, Gutta is also a successful women's doubles player. Her partnership with Ashwini Ponnappa bringing India a bronze medal at the 2011 World Championship. And now, with a semi-final appearance at a Super Series tournament, her mixed doubles pairing with Diju seems to be clicking into place. But the duo is careful not to get too far ahead of themselves.
The way we're playing, it's absolutely fantastic. He's just got back from an injury. We didn't play for
last 6 months. I never played.
6 months we never played. He never played. And after that, coming back and reaching semi-finals of a Super Series, China Masters, I think it's huge. I think we do stand a chance. But again, Olympics is too far, so we're just going and focusing on each tournament.
Gutta and Diju may not have the luxury of looking that far ahead, but one man certainly has his eyes set on what is sure to be his last appearance at the Olympics. Denmark's Peter Gade is one of the greatest European players of all time. And at 34, the former world #1 is still good enough to make the semis at the China Masters. Chen Jin beat Lin Dan to make the final, before Gade faced his semi-final opponent Chen Long. The veteran looking at every match as preparation for the 2012 Olympics.
Already preparation started. So I have no expectations for this tournament, for Japan Open. You know, World Championships was very hard for me. I did a great game against Lin Dan. So this time I want to do well, get some good points here. If I win, it's good. If I lose, it's okay. So I'm very happy to be a semi-final here.
Gade is the only European player from the last decade who's held his own against the Asian greats. But even the Dane concedes that this era belongs to two of the best players the game has ever seen.
Lin Dan and Chong Wei, they're big favorites. So, but on a good day, maybe I can do something. So I'm chasing that good day. I know that maybe 1 out of 10 I can win, and they'll win the 9 times out of 10. But that's okay by me. I'm the old guy. I can come from behind and maybe make a surprise.
Back on court, all wasn't well for Denmark's #1 shuttler. Gade down 6 match points in the second game against Chen Long.
It's gone wide, and this time Chen Long of China converts. 2 straight games over Peter Gade, the veteran from Denmark. So that guarantees an all-Chinese men's singles final.
Coming up on Badminton World, Danish men's doubles player Mathias Boe shows off his latest accomplishment, the highly successful online game Badminton Star. That up next. Welcome back to Badminton World. We're in the ancient prefecture city of Changzhou, home to the last 3 editions of the annual China Masters. Part of the semi-final lineup here were Denmark's Mathias Boe and Carsten Mogensen. Boe relaxing here in his hotel room with his friend and mixed doubles star Joachim Fischer-Nielsen before the match against Jung Jae-sung and Lee Yong-dae. Boe is checking out the latest developments in an online gaming venture he's involved in, titled Badminton Star. The game lets fans compete against each other by picking a team of 10 players that they hope will do well in a certain tournament.
Joachim Persson, Danish men's single player, and we talked about this idea a while back, and we thought it would be a good idea because it's in all other big sports. They have these fantasy games, football, in the American sports as well. So we thought it would be a good idea because badminton is a very popular game, especially here in Asia. So we wanted to create something extra excitement for the badminton fans, and that's why we tried to talk about ideas and see what we could do, what we could come up with, and we came up with Badminton Star. If you follow the game online or on television, it's always nice to have a little bit extra excitement, and when you have that, it's quite good to have your team, because you really need to, if you have to win Badminton Star, you really need to be in the game and know who's good against who, and choose your players who can win. So you need to be really involved in the game, and if you're a true badminton fan, you will always be involved in the game. So that's why you should play it.
It was time now to head to the courts for Boe and Mogensen, especially with their Korean rivals Jung and Lee expected to give them a very tough time. But before that, another match would capture the crowd's attention. World champs Fu Haifeng and Kai Yun under heavy fire from Yu Yong-sung and Ko Sung-hyung. Game number 1 going down to the wire.
This time they convert 26-24.
The Chinese pair got a handle on things the second time around. Kai and Fu finishing it off in straight games.
First time of asking, and Kai Fu Haifeng, the #1 seeds. Their run of form continues.
Things didn't go as planned for Boe and Mogensen, though. The Danish second seeds losing a 3-gamer to Jung and Lee, who would now battle Fu and Kai for the title. The day of the finals, and the Chinese crowds were buoyed by the fact that at least 3 out of the 5 trophies were sure to be snapped up by local players. And one such all-Chinese affair involved women's doubles world champions Wang Xiaoli and Yu Yang, their unseeded rivals Huan Zhang and Tang Jinhua in the near court, surprising them in Game 1.
And they take it. Extraordinary.
The next game saw Wang Xiaoli limp out due to an injury to her ankle. The forfeiture handing the teenage pair of Huan and Tang their first ever Super Series win. But it was hardly a domestic affair in the men's doubles final. Home favourites Fu Haifeng and Kai Yun pitted against the tough Korean pair of Jung Jae-sung and Lee Yong-dae. The world champions in the near court were decidedly off colour. The Koreans Jung and Lee dominating the match to take the title.
And indeed they have. No clean sweep for China at the China Masters. Foiled at the last hurdle, the men's doubles, because victory going to the #3 seeds Jung Jae-sung and Lee Yong-dae. 21-17, 21-10.
It was China versus Korea in the mixed doubles as well. Top seed Xu Chen and Ma Jin in the near court playing Yu Yun-song and Zhang Ye-na. The Chinese pair storming to a big win to claim their second Super Series title of 2011.
21-13, 21-16. And the title goes to #5 seed Xu Chen and Ma Jin of China.
Up next, all eyes were on the all-Chinese showdown in the women's singles final, where second seed Wang Xishan faced the fourth-seeded Jiang Yanjiao. Game 1 went to Xishan before she cruised to a lead in the second game as well. The match ending abruptly due to an injury to YANJIAO. Xishan claiming her third Super Series title this year. Soon it was time for the main event. The men's singles final featuring 2010 world champion Chen Jin and his compatriot Chen Long. In the opening game, Chen Jin in the near court failed to replicate the form that had overpowered the great Lin Dan in the semi. Chen Long getting ahead at 21-16. But it was a much closer battle in the next game. Chen Long looking to counter some great defensive play by his compatriot at match point.
Goodness. Fabulous. Beaten finalist last year, Chen Long. This year in 2011 goes one better. He takes the title.
The first Super Series win of the year for the 22-year-old. And a great boost to his chances of qualifying for the Olympics next summer. We leave you now with some moments from the 2011 Li-Ning China Masters Super Series. And you can now log on to BWF's official live streaming channel, hosted by YouTube, the world's largest online video community. Just type in badmintonworld.tv for all the live badminton action from around the planet. Also enjoy access to a feast of match highlights, behind-the-scenes footage and player profiles on the online version of the Badminton World magazine show. All this only on badmintonworld.tv.